They, for some reason, cannot get Yanagi out of their mouth, bro. They cannot get Yanagi's fat, voluptuous teeth out of their mouth. They like suckle on milk dry, bro. You don't need to hold both teeth up, right? Just get one teeth and get suckle on it on one side, super hard. It's that time again, guys, with the new release of the lolly character Seed. Yeah, I know I'm gonna get hate in the comments for saying she's a lolly. Hey, don't come at me for that shit. Hey, tell the ZZZ developers to not fucking say that she's a child in the trailer. Then okay, they said it, not me. Okay, well, I'm saying it now. But anyways, guys, Seed has just been released, and the new tier list is out. How good is she? How bad is she? Did she ruin the meta, or is she already in the fucking dumpster? I guess we're going to figure out in today's video, guys, and we're going to figure out how dog shit Prydwen's takes are, and they're pretty bad normally. So, without further ado, guys, let's hop in. Enhance this image. The T1. In the T1 already? Oh, that's kind of... Okay, we gotta talk about it. Guys, we gotta talk about it. This shit's egregious. I want to check the changelog as well. We're gonna go through the changelog as we go through this, but we're gonna start with the support tier first. The major changes to support tier, guys. Obviously, we see Mr. Lycon getting moved down. We see Caesar King getting moved down. We see Lucy getting moved down, and we see Trigger getting moved down as well. So, first of all, there is absolutely no shot in hell that Caesar King is a full 2 tiers below Soukaku. Absolutely the fuck not. And the reason I say that is, while yes, she's defense and I think she's harder to pair up with people, dude, what other fucking team are using Soukaku on other than a mono ice team? Let's go take a look at Shiyu defense just really quickly, guys. Actually, Shiyu defense was already pulled up. Let me pull it up here real quick. Let's take a look at Shiyu defense. Let's take a look strict mode. Let's turn this on here. Yeah, the only team that she's being used on is a team with Miyabi. Like, in my brain, guys, genuinely, I understand how good mono ice is and how good the mono ice teams are, but there is no shot when a character that is practically only functional with Miyabi, she does not deserve to be up here. Like, genuinely. If we're talking about a character like Missy Moo right here, right? Miss Jufufu, right? She can work with enhancing chain attack damage, so she can actually work on teams with Evelyn, right? And genuinely, guys, Jufufu is just giving overall buffs for the rest of your characters as well. She's increasing the squad decibel meter, right? And this applies to every single ally as well. And then on top of this as well, whenever the Tiger Roar effect's active, you're getting crit damage increases, and then you're getting higher crit damage increases depending on what Jufufu's attack is, plus chain attack and ultimate damage increases as well. So, like, you're getting a lot. Like, okay, if they don't have a lot, you're still getting crit damage at the end of the day. You're still getting good stun capabilities at the end of the day, right? You're still getting increased decibel meter, which is very unique to her, right? And you get decibel generation on top of this, so you're getting more ult generation from this. I just don't see it, guys. Considering Fly the Flag can only go on one ally, and then you're increasing, like, your ice damage and ice res and stuff like that. Like, it's not by that big of an amount. And considering that you've already moved down Lycon in this situation, there's no shot. For me, she moves down at least here. In my mind, guys, there's no shot that you ever put Soukaku over Caesar King here, because Caesar King can basically do the same thing she can do, but it's a lot easier to pull off, in my opinion. Now, the freeze on her is really essential, and I do realize that. But you're still applying vulnerability debuffs to the enemy with Caesar King as well if you're playing her correctly. So, yeah, there's no shot that she's 2 full tiers ahead, and she is absolutely kerfuckle to Miyabi. Not saying that she's any better, because she's kerfuckle to using anyone with defensive assist, or anyone that has the, Sons of Caledon, right? So, I mean, you're kind of kerfuckled there too, but there's no shot. She works on she works with one character. If you don't have that one character, she's washed. If anything, you should put partner Miyabi and do the same thing like you do with Evelyn over here, where you put the 2 little arrows up, right? And this is my same gripe with the Honkai Star Rail tier this year with Saridra, of having Saridra at the top, and then saying she drops 2 or 3 tiers if she's not on her best in slot teams. Same thing with her. If she's with Miyabi, you know, put it in green or red or wherever you want to have it, and have like 2 little arrows going up to actually depict what her rank would be on that team, rather than just giving this view of how she is when this is not the case, right? Like, if we're gonna have these partner tags here, at least, like, I just don't like this, right? I really don't like the partner tags and having them higher up on the tier list, because when someone just glances at the tier list or looks at the tier list, they're like, oh, well, she's fucking good, so build her, and then they try to build her and use her on everything else. Like, well, this doesn't feel as good as the other character. I don't, you know what? Why raise your, it's a fucking tier list. Who the fuck cares? Anyways, move her down. I'm going way on a tangent for no fucking reason here. Anyways, you move fucking Lycon down. Lycon was a fucking staple in the mono ice team as well, so if you move him down, I think you move her down as well. That's all that I have to say with that, guys. Trigger getting moved down. Yeah, Aftershock really didn't get a buff. Considering that Seed here doesn't do any Aftershock damage, she really doesn't do anything else. If anything, I think we're going to get to the DPS here in a second with Soldier Zero and her being on the same tier. That's kind of cooked. Anyways, other than this though, guys, I mean, I think everything else here is pretty acceptable. I would maybe dare say move Coletta up 1 tier, and the reason I say that is because she boosts chain attack damage, and chain attack damage is pretty prevalent with characters like Evelyn and also characters like Yishuan as well, and considering these are both 2 top tier characters, I can see her being moved up for that fact, but not shot up to the top here with Miyabi, right? Because she's not best in slot in any of these teams. Honestly, I don't even think she's best in slot in any of these teams right now either. And as for the characters we see at the top here, yeah, I agree. I think we keep these the absolute same here. I think that probably Jufu, Fu, and Nicole will probably sit up here at the top. I think honestly, guys, after next patch, I think that Jufu, I mean, Nicole probably loses a little bit more value because we're getting a new Raptor character coming out in the next version, and they just bypass defense again, which is kind of like her whole main shtick. And the more characters you add in to do that, I feel like the less she's able to provide to the team. We're also getting a new buffer as well that is probably going to be buffing up chain attack damage, so you'll probably see Panda Yun move down as well in the next patches to come, but we'll touch on that whenever that actually comes and we can see what these characters actually do in fighting. Now, hopping into our secondary DPS. First things first, I agree with that. Next, I agree with this. And her getting moved down, Bernie's getting moved down. Yeah, I agree. I think I've already said that I think that Yanagi is better as a secondary DPS than Bernice is in a lot of situations. She just outputs a lot more damage on those teams considering the disorder she can get off. I have a problem with primary DPS Yanagi, and we'll touch on that when we get to the primary DPS section, and people always tell me I'm fucking coping out on this, but I'll say my reasoning again, and they probably won't agree with me. And then Grace gets moved up 1 tier. I genuinely do not think that she's full 2 tiers below what she's able to do. I don't think that she's, you know, here compared to her, but I genuinely do not think that she's this far down in comparison to every other anomaly character as a sub DPS on the team. Now hopping into our primary DPS, guys, probably the moment you've been waiting for, guys. What do you want to know about this, guys? Do I think Miyabi and Yishuan should be at the top? Yeah, I think this is fine. Genuinely though, like I said, guys, with the release of someone like Yuzuha here, I do think this shakes it up just a tad bit. I do think that Miyabi, I'm not even trying to dick right here, because I usually put Miyabi down because she's so restricted off on her light cone options. I mean, or W engine options. Sorry, I just recorded a Honkai Star Rail video. Anyways, I genuinely think that taking that bias out of the equation here, I genuinely think that she could be better with Yuzuha in the game right now. And then when we ever get this new sheer damage force, I think she will be on par and or better as well. But as I've said many of times, and I'll do this at the end of the section here, I think that she's kind of a cut above right now, and I think Yishuan will probably catch up, though Yishuan's also performing really good in in-game content. So, hopping into tier 0.5 now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do not think Yanagi deserves to be up here. I don't think that Yanagi is tier 0.5 for a main DPS, and I will show you the reasoning on why I don't think she's up here, because when I think of a main DPS and sub DPS, or even if you go to the criteria of Prydwen, right, it's the character that's the main person on the field doing the damage, right, and a lot of the teams that she's being rated with, she's not the main character on the field. Let's just take a look at what Yanagi looks like here, right? Okay, so a team with Miyabi, Yanagi, and Yuzuha. There's no shot she's the main DPS in this team. Miyabi's your main DPS. She's on the field most of the time. A character with Jane Doe. Jane Doe's probably majorly on the field there, getting her assault procs off and stuff like that, and then you come in with her and do your disorders, right? So your main DPS here is Jane Doe, your secondary DPS is Yanagi. Going down the list here, guys, well, still in this one, Yanagi, not the main DPS. Okay, then we get to tier 10 here, or rank 10 usability, right? Then this is where we start seeing Yanagi be used more. We can even scroll up here to see this as well, right? This is literally, and this is why I don't like this list as much, right? This basically shows that every single team they're used on, but considering she plays 2 different roles, it doesn't specify which role this is in. It's just saying secondary DPS and DPS, right, that she's getting these clear times. And I guarantee you these clear times are gotten with the Miyabi team, or these teams right here. There's no shots that they're not. Like, these teams are super good. And like I said, I think that genuinely, Yanagi is a top tier secondary DPS. I think she is up here with the likes of Vivian. Hell, you could probably even throw up here in tier 0 if you wanted to with Vivian. I don't really have any complaints with that. The complaint here is with tier 0.5 Yanagi. I just don't think that as a main DPS, when you're running her with a secondary DPS over here, because these, obviously Jane Doe's not over here. She's not a secondary DPS. Miyabi's not a secondary DPS. You can't, I don't see how you can have two primary DPS on the team when one is taking more precedence and more time over the other. When you really Yanagi swapping in for like a second or two, doing like her burst of damage and then getting the fuck off the field, right? Like I said, the perfect example right here. Bernice, secondary DPS, main DPS, great. Secondary DPS, main DPS, great. I think this is great. Then you have Alice and Yanagi, main DPS, secondary DPS. Like genuinely, that's just how it is. And so for me, I don't think that you can sit here and tell me genuinely that she is on the same tier 0.5 as a primary DPS that she is as a secondary DPS. That's why I'm moving her down to tier 1. Now, I'm going to get a lot of complaints in the comment section talking about, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you don't play the game. I do play the game, and I know the fuck she's not up here. That's, like, she does not feel this way on a main DPS team. As a secondary DPS, sure. One more little note here, guys. She's electric. Electric's in the dumps. There's not many enemies that are weak to electric, so when you're running her on a sub-DPS team or you're running a sub-DPS with her, you have to counteract that somehow. Her being out in the field most of the time when there's not many, there's less teams that she can be ran as a main DPS because of that fact. Not to say that she's bad in any of those teams. She's tier 1, she's still fine. But she's not tier 0.5. Anyways, guys, off the tangent now. Hugo Vlad, he moves down here. Yeah. And I'll show you why I'm moving them down here, guys. Now, I don't take any of these for 100%, obviously. I think we should take this, obviously, with some grain of salt here, right? But let's look where Hugo's at. Hugo's average clear time in these clear times here, 2 minutes and 50 seconds, right? Now, these clear times are all pretty close together. Comparing that to Evelyn, that's a full 25-second difference. Now, I think some would argue to say that maybe Evelyn doesn't deserve to be up there either. Because, look, Silver Soldier Ambi's up here, right? Cool. The reason I don't like Electric that much is because of the fact that there's not that many enemies in the game with it right now. And now, yes, I get this is a tier list combining both of those, but if I were to compare Hugo's performance to someone like Alice's performance or even Evelyn's performance, I do think it's a bit lower than what these two are performing like, even though I do think that Evelyn probably is closer to this tier than Evelyn is, for sure. But still, I just don't think he is competing to the same level that Evelyn's competing at right now. So for that matter, he is moving down one tier. I think he's really kerfuckled, not only by type. I actually don't think he's fucked by type in with Deadly Assault right now. I actually think he's pretty good in Deadly Assault right now. But overall, the team he has to run on is with two Bright characters or two stun characters. He gets a huge buff from Lighter. But what's your other stun character? I guess you're running Jufufu, right? I guess you maybe run Lycon. Like, he has decent options all around the board, but you're not running any buffers here, so kind of weird. I don't know. So yeah, he's moving down to tier 1 for me. Now, let's hop into tier 1, guys, because I'm going to keep these two characters here for now. Tier 1 for me is, I think that for sure, for me, guys, Zuan moves down to Haramasa tier. Now, the reason I say this is because I've always said, I think that Zuan is more restrictive on a team than Haramasa is. Haramasa is, like, I think his Achilles heel is, first of all, burst damage. The burst damage that both these characters deal is not ideal in a lot of situations. Secondly, his typing. So I do think they're on the same level, even though I think he has a higher damage output or a higher damage capacity than Zuan here, when he's played to the utmost of his ability, right? And that's why he has the expert going up, right? I don't think he goes up 2 tiers. I think he does go up. I think there is a genuine skill issue involved with playing him. But I feel like if you were to play both of them very casually, in their respective scenarios, I think that he does end up coming out on top over her, right? But he is expertly played, so I'll keep him in the same tier for now. And I do think the hindrance of the electric type does keep him there. Now, on to Seed. I think they are sleeping on my girl Seed so much. I do not like this character. I am a Seed hater. With that being said, I don't think she's tier 1. I think she sits up here. I think the typing, kind of fucked, but it kind of makes up for it in the fact that she's able to give a buff to your secondary DPS. She's able to buff up someone like Silver Soldier Ambi, and there's no shot you're telling me that Seed is performing on the same level as Silver Soldier Ambi. Now, I know I didn't check this out earlier. Let's look at the changelog real quick because I want to look at this. Seed is a T1 primary DPS plus on watch list. Seed is currently incomplete and lacking a dedicated partner. I think that's fine. I don't even think Orphe's like fully gonna fix that, right? But with her current supports, we found her performance closer to agents like Jane and Silver Zero Ambi. I just don't think that's the case. I think that she does perform better. Like, genuinely, I think she can make the team perform better as well. Like, she can really make the team perform better as well. And I think that is something to be looked at. This is a primary DPS category. I get that. Now, would it make sense to move Seed over to the secondary DPS category? I don't know, because she is providing buffs to your main DPS and she can still be used in very bursty scenarios. So it might be worth throwing an extra, like, you know, an extra picture of her over on this side too, and then giving her maybe a higher rank. I can maybe see that, but as of what she's able to do right now, I do think she outperforms what Silver Soldier Ambi does, considering we haven't got any Aftershock support. She just gets support of kind of like our top tier supports in the game right now. Like, she can take support of everything here and still come out pretty good. So for that matter, I'm moving her up. I'm keeping Silver Soldier Amber here. You know, for me, guys, like I said with the release of Alice, I do think that probably we move Piper down. I don't think Piper's on the same tier as Jane Doe right now. I just think the assault procs with the crits she's able to get off is very unique to her kit, and she can actually pair really well with Alice. So for that, I'm moving my Spin to Win Queen Girly Girl down to tier 1.5. And as for Nekomata moving up, I don't give a fuck. This is tier 3. These fucking characters are absolute shit anyways. Now onto the topic I brought back at the beginning of the section here. Like I said before, guys, I genuinely think this should be the case. I think that you should probably move Miyabi up right now. I do think that she does hella outperform what Yishwin's able to do. Keep Yishwin here, that's fine. I think we keep both these characters here, but basically you just move a character down each tier, right? So down a tier, bam, like just move tiers down and give us space for something else, or maybe you just shift everyone down one tier potentially, right? I think that would make a lot more sense. Maybe not, or keep Alice on the same tier as Yishwin, because I do think she performs actually quite well. Anyways, guys, this is why I think Prydwen is absolutely coping, because they, for some reason, cannot get Yanagi dick out of their mouth, bro. They cannot get Yanagi's fat, voluptuous titties out of their mouth. They, like, suckle in milk dry, bro. They have fucking pulled from the full well. They're like, you know what? She's good as a main DPS and a sub DPS. I think both represents her breast size. You have the left boob and you have the right boob, and they're sucking on both those tits super fucking hard, guys. Honestly, let off one of the titties. One titty can sag a little bit, okay? That's fine. You don't need to hold both titties up, right? Just get one titty and get suckle on it on one side super hard, because she's genuinely good over there. The milk's probably better on that side anyways. Don't neglect it, or actually neglect the other side. Go to the right side. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it. That's the clickbait for the video, and yeah, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.